Very good afternoon, all of you. So, in this particular lecture, we will see correlation, and this is basically the last point of unit number 5, that is statistics. In that, we will see Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation and its mathematical properties. And in tomorrow's lecture, we will see Spearman's rank correlation and its interpretation. So as I mentioned, today we will be focusing more on Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. It is also called as Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient. So you can decide how to pronounce and use the same. Okay, so the first question come in our mind that what is correlation? So whenever we talk about data, generally we talk about X and Y. There are some data points for X and data points for Y, where X is independent variable and Y is dependent variable. And we generally try to find out the relationship between X and Y. And correlation is a statistical technique which measure the degree or extent to which two variables fluctuate or change with reference to one another, and if there is any relationship between these two variables or not, because basically we can develop the relationship between X and Y, that is fine, but in practical sense whether that relationship or that equation has some meaning or not, and that interpretation we can make by using correlation. So let's say two variables are said to be correlated if two variables vary in such a way that the movement in one are accompanied by movement in the another or other in the same or in the opposite direction. So if such type of observations you find for the given data set, then we can say that these two variables, say X and Y, are said to be correlated. We will take some examples and graphically we will understand how to interpret about the correlation. For example, take the first figure where we are already interpreted that there is no correlation. Why? When you increase the value of X, you can see sometime the value of Y will increase, sometime it decrease. So you will observe a cluster instead of a relation, that is straight line or curve, second degree parallel or whatever. So for this particular figure, we can say that there is no particular trend between X and Y, and therefore we can say that there is no correlation between X and Y. In figure 2, you can see that when you increase the value of X, simultaneously there is a rise in value of Y. So you can see this is the value of X and corresponding value of Y. When you increase the value of X, you will see there is increase in value of Y, and so on for remaining data point. So the value of Y corresponding to value of X increases in a positive way. So you can see that the movement in other in the same direction. So when X is increasing, Y also increasing. So we can say that it is a positively, they are positively correlated, or X and Y has positive correlation. Third case is negative correlation. You can see that when the value of X is increases, you can see in this direction the value of X is increases. So for each value of X, you will see there is a decrease in the value of Y. So what we can conclude from this, as X increases, Y decreases. So there is a negative correlation, as movement of X in is in one direction, that is increasing direction, and at the same time the movement of Y is in decreasing direction. That's why they are negatively correlated. Okay, So basically there are three types of correlations: no correlation, positive correlation, and negative correlation. We will move ahead. Yeah, one more thing I would like to highlight here, that every time you will not see only these three conditions. Okay, because in this case when you try to draw a straight fit a straight line to these data point, it passes through all the data points. So practically it is impossible to draw a straight line which or curve which passes through all the straight lines. So these are the three extreme conditions, I would say, or extreme correlations, but there are some intermediate line as well. We already discussed type of correlations. So positive correlation means the values of two concerned variable changes in the same direction. So you can see when you increase the value of x, the value of y also increases. In this example, you can easily see that. In negative correlation, it is also called as inverse correlation. And in this case, the two concerned variables changes in the opposite direction. For example, we know that if your mental stress increases, your work efficiency definitely decreases. So mental stress is in increasing direction and corresponding work efficiency is in decreasing direction. So that we can conclude here. Similarly, as temperature of material increases, its strength generally decreases. So temperature is in increasing direction and the outcome, that is strength of that material, is in decreasing direction. So these are the two examples of negative correlation. And zero correlation means the change in the value of one variable does not cause the change in other variables. Okay, means there is no relationship between x and y in which we are generally talk about. For example, height of a group of students and their marks in numerical and statistical course. So your height will not decide how much marks you will get in numerical and statistical subject. Okay, these are the two irrelevant uh, parameters. They cannot be correlated. There nothing will be a relationship between the height and the marks in this course. So such situation are called as zero correlation. So these examples will help you to understand when there is a positive correlation, when there is a negative correlation, and when there is a zero correlation or no correlation. Now we will take some other examples. Age and blood pressure. So what we can say that as age of a person increases, slowly blood pressure generally increases. So it has positive correlation. Age and probability of death. So as your age goes on increasing, so slowly the probability of death also increases. So this is also the case of positive correlation. Temperature and work efficiency. As temperature increases, work efficiency decreases. So positive correlation. Score in the examination and time spent in the preparation. So generally, as you spend more time on preparation of a given course, definitely you will get more probability that you will get good marks in that examination. So this is also the case of positive correlation. Height of a group of students and their marks in mathematics. So there is a no relation, such relation. Height of a person cannot be correlated. It's his performance in the examination. So there is no correlation. Okay. So these are the some of the examples of correlation. One more parameter come into the picture, that is covariance. It is just like a correlation. So covariance is the basically it is a study of correlation. Okay, this will help you to interpret about the correlation. That is the joint variation of two variables. The covariance of two variables, say x and y, generally denoted as COV in bracket x comma y. So this is the common way through which we write the covariance between the variables x and y. In this case, we are assuming that there are only two variables, and whatever study we are doing in this particular semester, there are two variables x and y. Then how to calculate covariance? So there is a particular formula. So covariance between x and y is given by, there are two equations you can see. This is the typical way, this is the first equation, typical way to express the same. And mathematically, when you want to calculate the covariance between x and y, you need to use this formula. That is summation of, in bracket, x, the value of x, minus mean of all the values of x, into second bracket y, the values of y, minus the mean of all the values of y. So then divided by n. N is the number of sample size. So suppose you have 10 data points for x. So just take their average and you can calculate the mean. If you have corresponding 10 values of y, just take their average, you will get value of mean for y, and then for each value of x and its difference, it's a deviation from mean value. Similarly, the value of y corresponding to the mean value of y, that value you have to calculate, take their sum and divide it by number of samples. So you will get the value of covariance. Where, as I already mentioned, the mu x is nothing but the mean of variable x, that is sum of all the values of x divided by sample size. And mu y is nothing but mean of variable y, where summation y is sum of all the values of y divided by sample size n. Now, how to interpret? So the covariance, when you calculate the value of covariance by using this formula, it will be either negative, 0 or positive, and it depends on the nature of correlation between them. So generally, when one value increases, other value decreases, means negative correlation. When you will get the covariance as 0, then there is no relationship between x and y. And when x increases and at the same time y decreases, we can say that it is positive correlation. Sorry, I guess I did some mistake. I will repeat once again. When x increases, y decreases, means both value changes in opposite direction. We call it as a negative correlation. When you get 0 value, then you can say that there is no relationship between x and y. And when x increases, y decreases, or vice versa, then we can say that it is a negative, a positive correlation. And generally, when there is a negative correlation, covariance will have negative sign. When there is a positive correlation, the covariance will have positive sign. So sign will tell you whether it is positive or negative or 0 correlation. Now there are certain mathematical rules, statistical rules I would say. So covariance for xy is equal to covariance for y and x. When you want to take the covariance for x and x, it will be a variance x. When you take the covariance for x and y, mathematically it can be calculated as 1 upon n into summation of x minus mean of all the values of x multiplied by y. So you can use this formula to calculate covariance. And this is the simplified formula we can say when you compare with this formula. So either you can use this formula or this formula, you will get the value. Again, Covariance is an absolute measure. So it will provide you the absolute value. So you can rely on the covariance. So this is about covariance. Important point on this slide is when you calculate mathematically the covariance between x and y, you need to use this formula. The meaning of mu x is the mean and mu y is the mean of y. That is we discussed. When sign is negative, negative correlation. When covariance is 0, no correlation. And when covariance has positive signs means positive correlation. And these are the some statistical relationship between them. Then next point is Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Now we will come back to our main point, that is Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. I can also call this as a Carl Pearson correlation coefficient. It has also alternative word, that is product moment correlation coefficient. So both has same meaning. So you also know the alternative word for the same. It is a mathematical method of measuring the degree of the magnitude of linear relationship between the two variables under consideration. So let's say two variables you have, let's say x and y. Now, when you want to check the linear relationship between x and y, I'm not talking here about non-linear relationship. I'm talking about only linear relationship. Then in that case, we can recommend our Carl Pearson method is used. Now Carl Pearson's correlation coefficient is defined as the ratio of the covariance between x and y to the product of standard deviations of x and y. Here x and y should be in small letters. So please remember this. So this is the definition, and based on the definition what we will try to do, we will prepare this equation with taking some sample. So for a sample of n pairs of observations of x and y on variables x, y from a bivariate population, the correlation coefficient is given by. So you can say that Carl Pearson correlation coefficient is defined as the ratio. So you can see it is a ratio of covariance between x and y, covariance between x and y divided by the product of standard deviation of x and y. So sigma x is the standard deviation for x and sigma y is the standard deviation for y. Okay, so whenever you are asked to find out the Carl Pearson correlation coefficient, then it is generally denoted by R, and it is the ratio of covariance between x and y divided by standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y. So that this particular formula you have to always use to calculate the correlation coefficient using Carl Pearson method. Now the value of R varies between +1 to -1, and how to interpret it, that we will discuss in upcoming slides, because only calculating the value of R is mathematical or is a mechanical operation. But what is the meaning of +1? What is the meaning of -1? What is the meaning of, let's say, 0.8? So that meaning you need to understand, and as a statistical engineer, it is our responsibility to find out its practical meaning. Okay, so when for a given data set of x and y, if you observe such type of distribution of the data, then we can call it as a negative correlation. As the value of x increases, the value of y decreases, that you can easily observe here. So that's why they are called as negative correlation. Here you can see when the value of x increases, the value of y also increases. So we can call this as a positive correlation. So for negative correlation, so COV XY is less than 0, and for positive correlation the value of covariance between X and Y is greater than 0. And in simplified word, or when we know that all the data points corresponding to X, all the values corresponding to Y, you need to use this formula to calculate the Karl-Pearson correlation coefficient. So it is summation into bracket X minus mean of X into Y minus mean of Y divided by N, and divided by square root of summation X minus mu X bracket square divided by N into another bracket summation into bracket Y minus mu Y upon N, and this bracket has square. So one, I guess, small suggestion I have here. Okay, we'll see that later, okay, while solving the numerical, okay. Or instead of this big equation, you can also use this simplified equation. So it is up to you which formula you want to use to find out Karl-Pearson coefficient of correlation. Okay. Now, when R is equal to +1, so it means the X and Y will have positive but perfect correlation. So when there are data points, so the straight line will pass through all the data points. This is the simple meaning of this. Perfect positive correlation means R is equal to +1. When R is equal to -1 means perfect negative correlation. There is a negative correlation but perfect. The straight line will pass through all the data points. When R is equal to 0 means there is no correlation between two variables, that is X and Y. Large value of this correlation coefficient, that is R. So why we have taken mod here? Because R might have positive or negative sign. So its positive value indicates, and when it is larger, it indicates high degree of relationship between these two variables. So we should always expect that to have a good relationship between the variables, R must be as high as possible. And when it is greater than 0.8 means very high degree of correlation, because every time you will not get +1 or -1 or 0. Okay, but when it is greater than 0.8, very high degree of correlation. When it is between 0.3 and 0.8, moderate degree of correlation between the two variables. And when it is less than 0.3, we can say that it has poor degree of correlation. Okay, so this is how we can interpret the relationship between two variables by using Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. But at the same time, when you try to draw one of the conclusion, you must always consider how many sample size you have. So number of data points more means your conclusions have strong evidence. If number of data points or sample is small, then you have least evidence to prove your interpretation. So that observation is also there. So that's it from my side. If you have any question related to this particular session, the session is open for discussion.